Hello, welcome back. Today we look at this topic, engineering ethics. And some side talks is, well, I'm preparing this recording. The COVID-19 situation in Singapore become more fluid, and we see more cases happening from the announcement. So we may have more home-based learning in the coming weeks. Yeah, please mentally prepared. Then stay safe. Yeah, always practice about safety safe distance measurement. Okay, the objective of this chapter will be explain why engineers should be ethical and list the kindness in the NSPE Code of Ethics. So there's a National Society of Professional Engineers, and that is an organization in US. We are taking this as a context for this topic. And identify the correct ethical choices in engineering applications. Okay, first of all, let's take a look about what is moral ethics and engineering ethics. So actually, moral and ethics together are part of the behavior aspect of a person related to person's right or wrong conduct as well as a judgment. So if you look at ethics separately, so ethic refers to a rule provided by an external source, for example, code of conduct in workplace or principles in religions. And the moral refers to the individual's own principle regarding right or wrong. So ethics are not always moral, even though sometimes they are quite close. So engineer ethics will be different. So it is a special set of high standard ethical code practiced in engineering profession and the governed and the regulated engineers behavior related with their professional activity. So engineer ethic will be talking about the regulations when engineers working in their professional field. Using this table, we are comparing ethics and the moral in 5 aspects. So first one is, what are they? Now, what is ethics? So ethics are the rules of conduct recognized in respect to a particular class of human action or particular group or culture. So what is moral? So moral will include a principle or the habit with respect to right or wrong conduct. So while morals also prescribe do's or don'ts, morality and is ultimately a person's compass of right or wrong. So this will affect your judgment. Yeah. Second, what do they come from? Where do they come from? So ethic will come from outside. So that is an external factor, and that is from a social system. Moral will come from inside a person. So that is individual. So why we do it? Yeah, because society says it is the right thing to do. So this is ethic. And when we think because we believe in something being right or wrong. So that is from the inside and very individual. Flexibility. So these two, we compare this in the flexibility. Ethics are dependent on others for definition. They tend to be consistent within a certain context, but can vary between contexts. So what does that mean? That means when you are having the kart racing in the field, so you can drive the car at a very high speed, and you can overtake a car at a very high speed. So this actually is allowed when you are having this or doing this during car racing. You can't do this the same thing when you are driving on the road. Yeah, if you do so, the policeman will follow you. So moral usually consists, although can change if an individual's belief change. So a consistent value, so we call them moral. Yeah. There are also some varieties for moral changes, but that is different, not because of the context. Acceptability, ethics are governed by professional and legal guidelines within a particular time and place. And moral is that morality transcends cultural norms. So yeah, point of doing that is a professional. Yeah, so ethics talking about professional and the legal guidelines. So why engineering ethics? So engineering affect public safety, health, and welfare. So because of the job responsibility, so we need to hold a high standard of engineering ethics. Meanwhile, because the engineering work cannot be understood by the public easily, so the public have to trust in engineers. Yeah, so for example, when you are doing a bridge design, you are selecting the type or the code or the size of the I-beam structure. Yeah, so you are holding the responsible and responsibility, and as a public, they can't interfere anything about your decision or your calculation. So you are holding this as a responsibility. Code of Engineering Ethics identify a specific precedence with respect to engineers' consideration for the public, client, and employers, and the profession. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true. Okay. So although different engineering profession may have different set of ethical code, however, all of them will be address something in common. Yeah, obligation to society, responsibility of engineers, whistleblowing, and conduct. Yeah, conduct. Engineers conduct address some points like this: relationship with clients, consultants, competitors, and contractors. That is to say, as an engineer, we need to maintain the professional relationship with all other parties. So we can ensure the legal compliance by clients and clients' contractors and so on. Yeah. So if there's any conflict of interest, engineers need to find a replacement or they need to declare so as we don't affect the fairness of the judgment. Any bribery and kickbacks that may include a free, no, it's a gift, yeah, depends on the size and maybe value, and the free meals and additional services or maybe the entertainment. So there will be some guidelines for engineers to follow. So treatment of confidential or proprietary information. So this will be the fundamental requirement. When you are entering this professional, there will be the education process for you to know what is the proper way to treat the confidential information. So consideration of employees' asset. Yeah, some guidelines you will be followed by the employers or by companies. The last point here is showing outside employment or activities. So it means what engineers do beyond the workplace. Is this anything conflict with the work responsibilities or work properties? NSP is a fundamental canon of ethics. That means the standard of ethics. Yeah. So these are the statements. So I just read through. You can see this should hold the paramount over safety, health, and the welfare of the public. Of course, this is a top priority. And the engineers should perform service only in the areas of their own competence. Of course, if you are engineer, mechanical engineer, you don't mess up with the medical doctor's job. Engineers shall issue public statements only in objective and a truthful manner. So actually, it's applied to the board. So engineers should act for each employer or client as faithful agents, same as above. Engineers should avoid deceptive acts. Yeah, so this is a legal thing. So engineers should conduct themselves honorably, responsibly, ethically, and lawfully so as to enhance the honor, reputation, and usefulness of the profession. So if one were to cover this, that means as a part of the engineering society, every one of us should practice this engineering ethic so as we can build the reputation for the whole society. These are the examples of ethics for the American Society of Civil Engineers. Yeah, civil engineers. So hold the safety paramount, repeated from the previous line, and service with competence, definitely. So we must be licensed and we are competent in the area of what we are working on. And issue true statements. Yep. So we look at we state the facts. We look at the real situation. Yeah. So act as a faithful agent. So reputation by merit. Yeah. So this is the work. So you need to mention and remind yourself about work merit. Upholding professional honor. This is something from uh, insight, something like an insight or educated. So continue professional development and treat all persons fairly. Yeah. So these are the examples. Okay, ethical theory to engineering. So one of that is talking about utilitarianism. So this is a belief that actions are right if they are useful or beneficial to the majority of the people and maximize the overall good that you can do, taking into account of all those that it will be affected by your action. We take one case for example. If people short of the food, yeah, do you think we cannot supply the genetic modified food to them, or shall we provide some food and to improve their living condition and make sure they can survive? Then later on we improve the living condition further. So this will be with the time to make decisions. And this page showing duty ethics. So duty ethics respecting another person's autonomy. So build on right ethics. So duty ethics build on right ethics, but focus on your duties rather than another person's rights. So we need to apply the balance and apply engineering ethics about trying to balance this ethical theory with whatever situation you are put in. So this will be the page, duty ethics. So after this page, there are some case studies. I already embedded the few case study in the Blackboard. Now please watch them and try to draw a conclusion, maybe one for each after watching the video. Then you will learn something. At least you will get 1 point from that. Cool. Okay, I hope you will enjoy the video and the content in the Black later on. That's all for this topic, engineering ethics. Thank you. So stay safe always. I will see you in the class. Bye.